Hello and welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm sharing a layout that I created using the June 2018 Hip Kit Club Kit. I absolutely love these kits. They're amazing. This one is jam-packed with the Pinkfresh Studio Simple and Sweet collection, as well as a few other goodies in there. And here I'm just looking through all the papers, seeing which ones I like. And I definitely like these two. These two are my favorite and stood out right away. Here I'm just looking through all of my pictures, and there's quite a few that I wanted to use, and I was planning on doing just a one-page layout, and the colors were so perfect with this collection. Clearly I could not decide what pictures I wanted to use. I knew I wanted to use a lot, but not too many because I wanted to use a lot of the embellishments from the kit. So here I'm taking that paper and just cutting it into two different pieces to use as a border so that I could stretch my supplies and make 2 pages. Here I'm just rearranging my photos, trying to find out what kind of layout I want to do. Those frames from Pinkfresh Studio are so stinking cute, and I really wanted to use them, but my pictures were just too big. Here I'm cutting up the cut-apart sheet. Well, technically it's not a cut-apart sheet, but it's definitely fun to cut up and use all these little pieces. So I basically just added these into the Ephemera for the Pinkfresh Studio. So I cut all of them up at the same time because I knew I was going to use a lot of them, but I didn't know which ones I was going to use. The Show Me Your Smile one I thought was so perfect because in my pictures there's a picture of my mom and all of her grandkids and they're all smiling. So I thought that was going to be a perfect kind of mini title for this layout. Next I pulled out all the ephemera, and there was so much. As you can see, I laid out so many pieces on my page, knowing that I wasn't going to use all of them, but I wanted to kind of see where things could go and what I would like. And I apologize if my page goes off frame a little bit. I do tend to work right on the edge of my table just so I can see where everything is at. So I knew I wanted to use a lot of this ephemera. It's so gorgeous. And here's a trick that I like to do with my packaging. I just cut a slit down the side because I cannot stand when things get stuck to the little strip and you have to open them. Eventually I'll put them into a bowl and won't have to worry about that. But for now, I just like to cut a slit up the side of the packaging and slip it right in and out. It's super easy. Here I'm just matting all of my pictures on white. I know my background is white, but I wanted just an extra dimension to all the pictures, and I think it makes the pictures really pop out of the page, even if it's already on a white background. Matting these is going to take me minutes, so I just want to stop and say thank you for watching my video. And this is my first one that I've ever uploaded on YouTube for my personal layouts, and I'm super excited to continue and do more. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. So here I decided that I wanted to add some color to the background, and I wanted to use acrylic paints. I've been watching a lot of people on YouTube lately just use acrylic paint and a palette and just scrape the paint right on. I was also trying to mix the perfect color, and it actually took me a while because I wasn't expecting to need to add so much white to get it to the same color that was in the pattern paper. So after I get this mixed up, I'm just going to take the pattern paper off and just scrape this right onto the paper. And I'm doing it pretty thin. I do end up going back over it to make it a little bit thicker, and just to even out all of the lines. So after I did this, I realized I had so much paint left. So I decided to scrape it onto a few other pieces of paper and figured I could use those backgrounds later. I also scraped it into one of my traveler's notebooks. I'm still trying to get into that. It's new to me. I'm still learning, but this was fun. I'm glad I used up the rest of the paint that I had mixed because there was a lot there. I actually had enough to do 2 full 12 by 12 background sheets and my traveler's notebook, and I actually had more left, and I was like, what am I going to do with all of this? So I ended up just cleaning it off. Kind of felt bad wasting it, but in the end it worked out. So here I am just spreading the paint onto my traveler's notebook. The pink that I made actually turned out really cute. I don't use a lot of pink in my scrapbooking only because I have a son and I just don't ever get to use pink. So I was actually really excited to get to use pink in this layout. So I took the pattern paper and I wanted to distress the edges. So I am using my Close to My Heart edge distresser. It's fairly new, so you have to kind of work at it a lot. It's not quite broken in yet. I've only used it maybe 2 or 3 times. And I'll make sure to post a link in the description of where you can find one of these. So here I'm putting my layout back together. I thought about putting the border a little bit above the paint just to kind of give it an edge, but in the end I decided to move it back down to where I was originally planning on having the pattern paper. As soon as I got my pictures down, I went back through the ephemera that I had picked out and decided that I needed to weed through it just a little bit more. I really like these dark gray pieces that say Rich in Love and then the heart, but there's only 2 of them and I like to work in 3s. So I was kind of sad that there wasn't a 3rd piece, and looking back now I could have used one of the epoxy stickers to add that 3rd kind of dark gray color in. And I'm pointing out the top here because I knew this is where I needed a title or a lot of ephemera, something to just fill in that white space. So I thought about moving the picture up, but in the end I moved it back down and decided to use the Puffy Alpha stickers from the same Pinkfresh Simple and Sweet collection. This color is so pretty and it matches so well. And I didn't have any wax paper, so I decided just to go for it. I do eventually pull out my ruler just to make sure everything is straight. But first I just wanted to put them loosely on the paper just to make sure that everything would fit the way I wanted it to. And here I'm pulling out the ruler and moving everything down and lining everything up. Looking back now, I probably should have glued my pictures down first because I think having that picture just loosely on the paper and it was crooked, it was throwing me off when I was trying to get these straight. So right after this, I do decide to glue down my pictures. I knew that this is where I wanted them, so I decided to go for it. And the adhesive I'm using is Hermitab, and I've been using this for over 15 years. And my mom had a scrapbooking store, and that's what we used. And I love it. They work so well. They stick really great. But at the same time, if you don't push them down, they're removable. I know a lot of people love their liquid glue, but I'm not a fan at all. I very rarely use liquid glue, only because it gets messy, it warps the paper. I'm just not a fan. And I do live in a humid place, so occasionally I'll have trouble with my pictures coming up, but it doesn't happen very often. So I've been sticking with this glue for a really long time, and I still love it. These pop dots that I'm using are from the dollar store. They come in a huge roll and they're double-sided and they work really great. I wanted to use this orange piece from the cut apart sheet. It definitely brought out the orange in the flowers from the top picture. I thought it was so pretty and perfect. And these are colors that I never thought I would like together. They're very pastel-y, and I just love the combination together. It's crazy that they look so good together. These epoxy stickers are my favorite. I'm definitely going to be buying more of these. They are so gorgeous. I absolutely love them. So I decided to go to the right side of the 2-page layout and work on that and just get the pictures glued down so I was at the same place that I was on the left side. And here I am just rearranging again. I wanted the orange flowers. Well, not really orange, they're more of like a coral color, but I wanted them to be not both at the top, so I did decide to switch those two and have the darker flower on top. And when I'm scrapbooking, I really like to match the colors to my pictures. I know a lot of people will make their layout first and then add their picture. I just don't scrapbook that way. I never have. And I do love the art of it. I love the paint and texture paste and all of the goodies. Sometimes I just do a quick, simple layout just to get it done. And I think this was one of them. This one actually isn't one of my favorite layouts, but it went in a direction I was not expecting at all. So here I'm looking at the epoxy stickers again, And these seriously are so cute. I probably could have put every single one of those on this layout, but I was like, no, I gotta save some, because I know I'm gonna want them for more layouts. And I think these are definitely my favorite part of this layout are the epoxy stickers. So on some of these pieces, they had these little circles, and I would have just hole punched them, but I didn't know where my hole punch was. So I just took my scissors and cut them out. And again, here I'm using those same pop dots from the dollar store, and they're actually really thick, and so they're not very squishy. So when I put them in an album, it's not going to warp the paper or anything. Speaking of all these pictures, my family goes on vacation every year, and I was so excited to use these new pictures. And last year we went to my brother's boot camp graduation, and I actually got a full album done, but I don't even think I scrapbooked half of the pictures. And so I still have to go back and do all of those layouts. But I was so excited for this, and the pictures and the Hip Kit Club just matched these pictures perfectly, and I had them sitting out on my desk because I just ordered them all. And let me know if you do that. If you haven't finished an album, but you're so excited for new pictures that you order them, just leave me a comment and let me know I'm not the only one. So just now I put on 2 pieces of washi tape, one right underneath the San Diego Temple title and one right underneath the Seize the Day title. And these are from Pretty Little Studio, Savannah Dreams by Kim Watson. And this is the Happy Mix Washi Vellum stickers. And this comes in a pack. I believe there's about 8 or 10 different washi tapes, and they're all really, really pretty. The colors didn't exactly match what I was going for, so I just used the black and white ones because I wanted to make sure that I got those on the page. And I'm pulling out some thickers from my stash. I can't exactly remember which ones these are, but I've had them for quite a while, and I don't think I've used any from there. So you saw me cut open the side of the packaging. I also do that for all of my thickers and letter stickers. I also added my journaling in that empty spot on the right hand side, and then decided to do just a doodly border around just to kind of tie both the pages together. If you see, I left the middle empty so you could see that it was all one cohesive page. And here I'm just adding some details. I'm adding the smaller flowers from the Ephemera pack from Pinkfresh Studio. I love when there's small elements in the Ephemera packs. It's perfect for adding just a little bit of something extra to your page. And here I took my Nuvo drops. This is, let me see here. This is the Nuvo Glitter Drops, and this one is White Blizzard. And it does dry a little bit clearer, so I just added those for some more dimension. And when I'm adding Nuvo drops, I just kind of scatter them. No, not in any particular order, just kind of where I think it looks good, where it can even out the page. And here's a few close-ups of the finished page. I hope you really liked this video. Again, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thank you, and have a nice day.